This week in Jamaica Now, how a construction worker charged for a ganja spliff was beaten in a St. James police lockup before his death 3 days later. Government relaxes policy on the arrest of offenders with small amounts of ganja. The JTA presidential election controversy, another candidate heads to court. More Chikungunya cases confirmed in Jamaica, and an artiste threatens suicide if his music is not played on radio. The details of these and other stories coming up after the break.
Reach anyone, anywhere in the world with the Gleaner online. Rich media, interactive banner ads, dynamic page wraps. With over 319,000 video views per month, place your video ad online and target select countries, states, and even cities. Increase, target, track.
I'm Carleen Brown, and this is Jamaica Now. An island-wide audit is now underway of all persons being held in police lockups. The audit was ordered by National Security Minister Peter Bunting in response to the beating death of 31-year-old construction worker Maria Dean at the Barnett Street Police Station in Montego Bay, St. James. Dean had been arrested for possession of a ganja spliff. Mr. Bunting says the audit report would be used to determine how many persons are in police custody for minor offences. He says while he's convinced that adequate procedures are in place, he's concerned that they are not being followed.
I'm not going to blame just the constables or the corporals or the sergeants. We have to look at those who are supervising them to ensure that everybody up the chain takes some responsibility to ensure that compliance is adequate.
And last week, 2 constables and a corporal were interdicted and 3 district constables suspended as the police inspectorate deepened its probe into the beating of Mario Dean while in police custody. But that came only after hundreds of people protested outside the Barnett Street police lockup where Dean was beaten on Sunday, August 3. 3 days later, he died in the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Dean's relatives are not satisfied with the circumstances said to have led to his death. They say doctors told them the police reported that the 31-year-old man fell from a bunk bed. However, the police say Dean was beaten by cellmates. 2 of the cellmates have since been charged with the murder. And in court last week, the investigating officer tendered a statement saying he observed a prisoner washing away blood from the cell of Mario Dean when he arrived at the Barnett Street police lockup on August 3. In his statement, investigating officer Detective Sergeant Joel Findlay said he happened upon a contaminated crime scene at the Barnett Street police station. He said he observed a man inside washing out the cell. According to Sergeant Findlay, he immediately stopped the man and instructed him to leave the cell area. This statement by the police has raised further questions about the management of the Barnett Street police station and crime scenes. There was more controversy last week when another candidate in the Jamaica Teachers Association JTA presidential election went to court. Principal of Harmon's Primary School, Georgia Wall Richards, has sought an injunction barring the proclamation of Norman Allen as president-elect. Mrs. Wall Richards is contending that the election is flawed because of several irregularities in the election process and discrepancies in the number of ballots. On July 1, the JTA announced that Mrs. Wall Richards had won the elections ahead of Mr. Allen. The association said Mrs. Wall Richards received 6,079 votes to Mr. Allen's 5,996 votes. But Mr. Allen disagreed and took the matter to court, demanding a recount. A recount was held and Mr. Allen declared the winner after receiving 5,977 votes. That's 179 more votes than Mrs. Wall Richards. The Health Ministry says it will continue its public education program and fogging in communities where the Chikungunya virus has been detected. Last week, 4 more locally transmitted cases of the Chikungunya virus were confirmed, bringing to 8 the number of cases recorded in Jamaica. 1 suspected case has been reported at the University of the West Indies. The Health Ministry is urging persons to do all they can to eliminate mosquito breeding sites in and around homes and business places. There was high drama in Halfway Tree last week when aspiring dancehall artist Taekwon O'Brien popularly called Icon, climbed the Zip 103 FM transmission tower and threatened to jump if his song was not played. Disc jockey ZJ Liquid eventually played the song, but made it clear that he will not be playing the song in its present format again. According to reports, Icon visited the radio station to speak with Liquid, but was told he could not as the disc jockey was already on air. He was denied entry, but in defiance, the artist sneaked past security and climbed the station's pole, threatening to take his life if his song was not played. The song for which the artist was willing to die is titled Stress.
I'm broke. I need something to smoke.
Icon, who had been detained by the police, has since been released without charge. The Jamaica Manufacturers Association, JMA, and university lecturer Dr. Damian King were last week in a war of words over the manufacturing sector. In a Sunday Gleaner article, Dr. King criticized manufacturers for seeking special treatment from the government at the country's expense. However, the association, its executives, and even past presidents went on the offensive, calling Dr. King's claims unreasonable and without merit. The parties took their disagreement to the airwaves, with charges and countercharges being levied on either side. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Carleen Brown, and as we go, footage from central Kingston as residents spurred into action to put out a fire in a tenement yard.
All of my belongings burn up, you know. I don't save anything, you know. All me about me, the document and me about some money and burn up. Everything burn up. Do what we do, we fridge, the washing machine, the wall, everything, we do as on all we do, all we document, everything burn up.